And guess what? We are recording, baby. Cool. So, welcome back to Fate Weavers. I'm not even going to lie. Our once every blue moon D&D slash role playing game slash what crazy rule we've been trying. And why do you have a hammer by your desk? Why? Dude, everybody, quickly grab the weirdest thing in an arm's length. I have a D30. Why do you also have a hammer? Are you guys just like waiting for people to break into your home and you need to be protected like or what? Okay, let's see. We have two hammers. We have two hammers. We have a plastic fork, glue, and is that a picture of ibuprofen? The fuck, guys. Okay, and I thought my desk was a mess. I will keep this for my wife for later. So, welcome back to the chaos that is this game, where we end up with a map with 25 different miniatures in a 30 feet radius. Uh, and we have everybody today. We have the full party. We have the traitorous boy, Callum himself, the beauty from the lower countries, Rick. I'm improvising as fuck. We have the Titan himself, David, the I don't know, the voice of the soprano muse, Hada, and Bryn, beautiful hair, Bryn. And we have the menace himself, the master of the cards, the owner of the card crack, Jason. He, I'm not surprised. So, welcome to Fate Weavers. Let's jump right back into it. No surprises for this week, no anybody talking out of nowhere. But last we left off, the group formerly known as the Idiots, now known as the Wanderers, entered a flying vessel, the Cloudbreaker, one of the three vessels of the Longstadt Empire, after being witness to the murder of the King Leonis Longstadt. There, they engaged in combat against the troops of the High Inquisitor Serafina von Helios, this group of paladins that kept getting back up. And after Shoralf had betrayed the party due to some circumstances and came flying to the Cloudbreaker, accompanied by the High Arcanist uh, Valera, Valera herself. The group ended up being rescued by Gabatutalu, this lost friend that they have been in a quest to recover. Gabatutalu now being the scion, the highest follower of one of the archdemons, AzerrA, teleported to the Cloudbreaker and aided the Wanderers in combat in an attempt to escape that place before three very highly powered individuals turned them into a paste. After being teleported, they appeared in the shadow realm of the Cardinal Demon themselves, AzerrA, who had taken the the image, the visual of whom the characters thought the most trustworthy person that they know. Inspired by this, AzerrA talked to the group, trying to bestow some information upon them, aided by Gabatutalu. You talked about the truth of Servil, the demon that Shoral follows, the truth about the empire being run by the demon of servitude and manipulation. And you talked about some other things, which I don't really remember because it's been almost a month. Anybody remembers? Oh, yeah, you guys figured that one out. That's why you've been grabbing flowers? Nobody else does. Yep. Yeah. 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 Egias. Oh, right. And you guys had to come up with if you wanted to go immediately back to Nersandia to go to Eric's mother, because that city is being labeled by the newly appointed King Shoralf as a den of heretics that are holding the terrorists and are a menace to the empire. And yep, that's pretty much what happened with AzerrA. So yes, you still haven't had any sort of rest. I'm going to say no. It's a tense situation. You guys are tense due to the presence of AzerrA. Bishar himself said it so. So um, we ended up in that question. So Gava, tell me, do you fancy Eric? Right now, no using any of these special powers. I'm going to say, I'm going to say, yeah, Gava doesn't really know about the intricacies of how this spell works, so I would say she kind of feels the compelled to answer truthfully. Yeah, by miracle. Mm. So you, yeah. So I mean, you have that like that PTSD trauma about the intense pain in your head to the point that you almost die multiple times, and you, even though the markings of how uh, this spell was cast, you still identify it as the same type of curse that was placed on you. Uh-huh. I don't know if it's loud enough, but with Eric Quottle's and Bishar passive perception, they probably hear it. Marlish is still kind of melting, and Thuras is kind of like holding him together. We said that Thuras was actually in a state of stasis, almost catatonic. You don't know. Oh, I wasn't certain if Tali wanted her here because last time there was a little bit of stabby stab and some words were said, so stabby stab. Sorry. No, as in Talu and Thuras fought each other. Oh, back in the place that you guys call Grelia, I think you call it. So what happened? Objectively, is that Thuras didn't want to stay in the barrier while you guys tried to protect Mirko and purify the place, and she went to try to get to the Nyarmas to evacuate. She didn't make it through, so she had to start to come back because all of the other members of the Raging Fox and the Sleepy Cow had started to fall under the potency of the demonic energy. And as she was coming back, Gaba saw a shade, a silhouette in the distance, and rushed out of the barrier and saw Thuras on her knees, still pushing the cart with the other members. And she and Gaba grabbed the cart to go back to the barrier, leaving Thuras there. And about an hour or two later, Thuras started knocking on the barrier, being possessed by AzerrA, and that's how AzerrA took Gaba into a fight outside of the barrier. And after Gaba killed the possessed Thuras, she for some reason woke up as a Dark Touch. That was how the events happened. Okay, okay, okay. So just to add to the chaos, let's make a wisdom saving throw. If you fail, you believe your own version of the stories and the omissions that you made as being truthfully. Yes, pretty much. If you succeed, you know that what you are saying is not the complete truth. Saving throw. You know that you are omitting some facts to which the Gias would activate. you, you, you see that Ashura you see that AzerrA kind of like tags on Talu's pauldron and goes, actually, Eric has also killed innocent people, and Kauliki also has killed innocent people. So, so I would say, and that makes, yeah. So I would say all of you are in the same boat together. You can all be friends, and we can hold hands together.
We call ourselves the murderers now.
What?
That wouldn't improve our position. Eric will think about who consider things. Yeah, that's for his mind. I'm assuming you're referring to the zombies that we put in trial. In my eyes, the Jedi are evil.
Oh,
I think we should leave it up to I understand we want to start an uprising. We need to go back in time. However, I'm going to look at proper Ephraim, you have more allegiance to this empire than probably all of us. And I look bottle into Yuki. Would you feel happy to get an uprising against the Emperor, Empire, whatever was from? Considering I'm the face of the revolution, I don't think I have much choice. Everyone has a choice. You could just disappear and never come on. It doesn't matter. You have a choice. Everyone has a choice. I had a choice to fall into a hole and not be saved by Eric. You know, everyone has a choice. However, Dora was so I think yeah. Grab at some point, chose not to take the holders out. So hold on to the elk mouth holders and I'll have to reach that phase at the time.
those what? Oh, okay.
I understand why you think that was crazy.
No, that wasn't crazy. That was fucking stupid, even for you. Where is that accent?
Fucking stupid! Stupid man. You bloody wanker!
We are spending too much time with Callum.
What you only realize is I have been trying to pursue myself for a long time. While joining the raging Buckley and tried to be an adventurer and a bodyguard and try to end up running into the goblin and finding Eric and then finding you and then everything. It was just appalling. Something that appalled me and I just had to take a step. Or fall. I'm not gonna. It wasn't. I kind of went. Girl for the come out. He's only dead now. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know why that reason is. I don't know the reason why this voice said fall into that hole, become a sign of a demon. Don't know. Everything happens for a weird, wonderful reason. Otherwise, he'd all be dead.
Sorry to interrupt, but can we appreciate the fact that when Jason turned off the light, now it looks like a terror movie, Halloween? I love it. I love it, by the way. I love how it looks. Sorry, Breen, you were saying?
Martin,
Ah, sorry. I got like notifications on Discord. Can you repeat the question, please? Uh, was it? Uh, I don't know. Gava has heard a lot of voices.
Yeah, it was when
Uh,
you said it was when I fell into the hole. It was
oh yeah.
yeah. There was a voice, and that was the choice. It was a total choice of the harbor was put out to me, and I had to play to grab it. I think I failed to throw. I either passed the throw or I can fail, but I decided willingly not to. That's why Eric know that I could have grabbed it. I didn't. I fell through it.
I remember the moment that you let go of the halberd and you just look at him in the eyes and said, "I love," and it cut off as you were being sacked. Um, so Ashra will look at you, Ephraim, and say, "Oh well, of course. I mean, she was going to die, and I kind of fancy her, so uh, I didn't want her to be crumbled to death."
you know that look at her straight in the eyes.
um, I would say somebody that you like a lot, more than the average, and you want to spend time together.
Fine, hurts.
uh, and I have a question. Any of you right now current HP lower than 100?
Stress.
Okay. So Ashira will. Oh, and uh, I know that you guys want to rush over back up there, but uh, just be warned. Those that tell don't betray. You might die. Well, I already used my magic on you once, and you don't have my protection like she does. So this time it would be maybe a little too much for your mortal bodies, and there's a chance that the strain would be too much for you to bear. AKA, you guys are going to take damage if you use the teleportation more than once in a day.
You have to stay here.
Oh, you could stay here. We could do a pajama party, and we could descend down into the city, go do some shopping. We could. Yes, yes, yes. There's like this lovely market. I think the gnomes call it the whistle market. Or I could show you. We could go uh, to the Rilinchi commander and talk to him. We could go to the observatory. Oh, I know. Uh, you remember last time Asher kind of like
You said
moved
we are in
moved the
this
veil.
together.
You are in like Asher's domain, but they open like the veil to show you, and you saw once again that scenery of being underneath the miasma clouds. You could see the core of the planet, and you could see Equestria just roaming around close by. Uh, and they go, oh, I could show you to Kyoshis. Kyoshis is he's a nice guy, one of the good gods. Bryn, I need Ephraim and Eric to make a history check, since you guys are related to dwarves in many senses.
Under fire.
What money would I take?
Yeah, no.
Well, you just need to puke gold from your mouth again.
Thank you very much. I have money. You are muted.
Yeah, muted.
I've also got a load of money because I had the stuff from Quattle's.
Oh yeah, I gave you half.
I've also got a loan from AzerrA, which he gave me a load of gold, so I asked for it. Give me a pile of gold.
Sugar that guy.
Might we be able to find some stuff for you?
Oh, we could buy all the stuff.
Jason.
I don't need diamonds, but I prefer to have them.
He's a fancy turtle. The hole that is part of the shell is going to be covered by a diamond. Jason, Bryn.
I rolled a natural 1 for 6.
Yeah. Okay. So, Eric, this name Kyoshis, you know that feeling when you've heard that name before, and you know that it was important. Maybe you forgot to attend the wedding or something like that. Ephraim knows that Kyoshis is the god of the forge and the god of beautiful things. He's the reigning deity of Equestria, living there, and he is the creator of dwarven kind and gnomish kind.
Sounds like a good night to die.
One question, AzerrA.
As many as you want.
How does time work? Half damage above
Yes, if I want to.
I slow down.
I'm I I could. You look at Gava looking like many years older than 2 weeks ago. I could. Time magic is kind of hard for me. So
What is the limit of slowing down time?
oh well, technically I don't slow down time. I just make time go quicker in a specific place of my domain. So there's a possibility that you guys would spend more like a year rather than a day, but it's a slim possibility. It's fine, right, Talu? Right? Yeah, but look at you. You've grown so much. Yeah, but you're.
Wait, then the possibility is that AzerrA is able to speed up time here for 12 hours, but yeah, it'd be less than that.
Yeah, that's a possibility though. The faster I make something go, the more chances there is for it to fail. So if you wanted to sleep like, I don't know, 24 hours in 24 minutes, it could become more like 24 months. There's a lot of math included in this.
So, so we would be here 24 months, but upstairs 24 months.
Yes.
Time is a weird subject.
I dislike this delaying more than we need.
But we would stay.
But the problem is we have passed on whether this method is will stick.
It's a little bit of stress.
You could just go to Equestria. Nice folks, kind of crazy, drinking a lot of glimmering drinks that make them smart or something like that.
Only faster.
But if you want to have a pajama party,
I don't like it and I like you, Asha.
I'm charming sometimes, but I know that people don't like me sometimes, and that's fine. I guess.
We could find things in this book never find up ahead.
Nice.
It shouldn't say.
Uh,
What do we not know that we could never find if we haven't found it above already?
all this time, the veil has been open with the wide view over Equestria, and you see at this point there's like two different flying vessels coming back into the flying horse, and these ships just seem to be coming from like far away.
Another question. Another question. Eric, who's flying ship. If beings like us were to go through, say, the Myuu with the ship, is there a possibility of any ill effects?
Uh, well, those ships totally fine. I mean, yes, some of those guys have been touched by the corruption that some of my kin exude, but everybody in the city seems to be fine. So I think Kirschis and his followers have created some sort of magical barrier. I don't really know the details, but you can ask him. He's a cool dude. But I would say maybe if you grab like the ship that you were in just a couple of minutes ago, you wouldn't have a protection of any kind. So I don't know. Probably.
They're probably on the cheap. They prepped them.
So, wouldn't do we look the same as those down there?
Well, Ephraim does a little bit. He's a dwarf. And there are some orcs down there, yes.
So we haven't got anything with like green thick arms and all weird.
Oh, yeah, those guys are also kind of normal, but it comes with the territory, I guess.
Who did that? We went and obviously a really good trick. Is there one of what's her name? My old no, Odin Street, what's her name? Yeah, who only paid in the one shot. The armor set. It's one of my armor sets down there.
Oh, the armor of Grulgor. Uh,
It's the other one.
are you talking? We've had a lot of one shots, folks.
Sorry,
Uh,
everyone.
uh, don't you have this on your character sheet? Are you sure? Are you talking about your armor set, the one that belonged to Grugor, your ancestor?
Yeah,
He's
Kruger,
my friend.
Kruger only had a vicious Warhammer. That's my original starter one, the low background. But no, there was another one. It was. Oh my god, why have I not written it down on my tree? But
Theorem?
Yes.
Theorem?
Yeah.
Theorem, I think.
yeah, that sounds right.
The armor of Theorem. Um, Actually, I'm going to roll a dice. You see, AzerrA kind of looks at your armor. You now having two pauldrons, a bracelet. No, sorry, a bracelet, no, a bracer, and 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 they go. Yes. And now that I look at your armor, I've seen that somewhere. There was like one of the gnomes, one of the crazy ones actually, that was trying to draw some sort of power from the armor. He was going on one of the invention fairs, all crazy about the possibilities. When he didn't win the first prize, he was kind of depressed. So I haven't seen him ever since. But we could ask around. I could help you.
Yeah. I say a lot. I need more. Look, I've only got part of friend. I've got this, the bracer, the pauldron. I need more.
Yeah.
What? That's what the other says.
So, what would you guys like to do? I'm okay with whatever you want to do.
I think we go down. I think we do it. We got to go inside that company though.
The answer is
You've
no.
been here for years, right? I've been here. I've been training. I've been like, it's like a weird. I don't know if you've heard play. It's called Rockius. And it's one of those kind of guys with like pop. And it's just strange and rock. And there's like this crazy like music that goes with it. That's that.
I haven't seen it.
Well, you know, guys drink a lot, become bigger and stronger. That's what I've done for the last 4 years.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like the original.
Oh, that's actually really nice.
Who the fuck is what?
I'm the leader. I want to be. I can lead it. Or would you want me being leader? Do you make
No.
a decision?
I vote for Talu as the leader.
Not very much use.
I mean, we can go if we have to stay for hours. Or I'll have a long walk. Not fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
unless
fine.
you would rather train for another day, Gavin.
I can. I think if we go there, we can find out Bracer, we can find out about this new world. The only issue is when I look at Eric, I know that your mother obviously wants you back. Because if they're going to come down hard on Zambia, it's your family that's maybe going to be affected.
Well, Eric is trying to map the hours inside his brain.
The only time will be slower in this realm when we go to Northland. Sorry, like when we go to Northland, it's going to be normal time again. Well, that's longer in there.
That's the problem I have. If we do not have the benefit of our own time is slow to move us around. lay of this land. We do not know laws. We do not know culture. We do not know whatever tradition. Simply cross someone and they decide to have done the grievous crime that they have never been nothing. Yes. So I am. I look at the spellcaster. I understand that we are given the opportunity to obtain things that you have never had before.
Not on the same day.
The problem is that you can, but not without excruciating pain, is what I understood has happened, or will happen, if you think.
So we can pop down spend a nice pajama party. Go shopping, spend a nice pajama party, and just come back.
Can I do a check to see? Probably. I know, like, great general. How long would it take the proper mobilization?
That depends. If they go just with the Cloudbreaker, their cannons and the elite force of the Emperor's Watch, uh, half a day. They could be there in half a day. If they go with like the full forces of the knights that are in all of the districts, the noble forces, the knights and the watches, and all of the people serving the different district nobles, that would take more like maybe a week.
Question of whether they are operating scorcher policy. They intend, if they intend, if they intend to operate such a thing, then I will assume they will just go down with the hammer rather than subtlety.
Giraffe wants to play all people. He wants eradication and servitude of your kind. He wants to not just own you and control you, but you can use none of your force to be matched, not be reckoned with. So
You
you
see,
use what
like the one who wants to show everybody else that can't turn against it.
There will be there may be others that we have not seen or heard of yet.
Uh,
I could raise an awful rebellion if needs be. They're always interested in fight.
Eric, why don't you give me a history check on Quotel and Ephraim?
That is a 24.
Okay. Anybody got? Yeah. Bryn? Okay, okay. So everybody got pretty good. So, um, you know that throughout the years, especially in the last 5 years, there have been small rebellious focuses groups that have taken against the empire. Most of them most of those so-called terrorist acts have been attributed to the uh, the group that you guys met. The what were they called? Were they the Freebirds? I think No, it was something related to music.
Falsetto or something?
Falsetto.
Yeah.
Thank you. Falsetto. Yeah. So you know that many terrorist acts have been committed by this group, Falsetto, and there have been like the focuses of rebellion, especially in the outer districts, like Gava said, the orcs. Elam and Nersandia are pretty much open rebellions against the empire. They are not ruled by a noble. They are they follow their own ways, with Elam being a city ruled by guilds, and Nersandia being pretty much the ruled by the brood mother that rules over the uh, the council of the beast walkers, and they don't follow the empire. They are just like vassal states. So you know that there's always a talk of rebellion. So, like you were saying, I think you were on the right track of mind that Shoralf would probably use this as a show of power to quell most of those rebellious ideas.
Eric,
He wants to go the biggest show of possible. He wants to do it.
Because you want to do it quickly.
can the Sandy defend itself? Does it have walls? Does it?
My I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask. DM what?
So, Nersandia is a city built atop a hill. All of the district is mostly high hills with long plains and long valleys. It's a place that grows pasture mostly, but also has multiple animals roaming free. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. There is it's more savanna type biome of place, as the only sources of water come from the elemental stones that have been introduced to the city, and the storms and the rain. The city itself is built atop a hill, doesn't really have a wall, but there are some defensive posts and watch points along the path, serving as some sort of advanced forts. The city is guarded by a group of kind of like a civic guard, a civic watch that you actually were part of, if I remember correctly. It doesn't have like a formal military. It's just people patrolling and keeping everybody safe. Nersandia has that sense of community, and even though there are kind of like neighborhoods more of felines, neighborhoods more of canines, more of insectoids, a lot of preaching and a lot of policies go into breaking those stigmas separated by the type of beast that the people have been merged to. Because after all, everybody was the same. Everybody was a prisoner of war, a captive. They come from different religions, they come from different backgrounds, but they must band together to survive. That is the spirit of Nersandia. So there are some defenses, but nothing like giant cannons or flying vessels.
She has that ship. You have seen that ship.
What what you what are you speak music? Because the intent to show everyone how the intent to rule and to make an example of it, then slow and screw to crush spirits, crush morale, to crush any fear rebellion would require a slow methodical process. So require
What is this?
It needs to be a focus, something that you can focus light or a mirror or crystal. It needs to be filled with water. Needs to be worth at least 1,000 gold according to D&D Beyond.
Ah.
Those are how to
translate to the in-game currency.
Yes, Cow Cow, how can I help you?
hundred silver.
Bring us? I assume Emma get
Do we have the money?
I can't remember what the.
You had 600. I had 600. You had 600.
Yeah, but then a lot of mine got gold. Then I bought Eric's armor.
I have 600 plus whatever
we
Cal
have
given me.
we have bought half.
I helped buy Eric.
Yes.
Right, I'll tell you this. I can do it, but then I would be wiped out. I'd have no money. Like, significant money. I got like a little bit. That's like, really the paper bed. Can do that, but
Ashera goes, we could actually go. The guys down there, they don't really have that many resources. They scavenge whatever is left from the places that they can find. So if you had something that was rare there, maybe you could trade it.
this where I have quite a lot of massive battle.
Why don't you all give me a nature check, especially Bishar for you? I'm going to actually give you advantage because the village where you were living in resorted to trade rather than coin as a means of bartering.
One of my worst skills.
I know, and he's a druid. Okay, anybody got 20 or higher? Okay, so just by looking outside the opening in the veil and looking around, you see there's a giant flaming core with a tree sprouting out of it. You see some small plots of land flying erratically. They seem to be following no path like the drifter lands that are upstairs, higher than the miasma. um, so you would guess that stuff like minerals, wood, especially wood, uh, animal hides, meat, stuff like that would probably be coveted in high prices here.
I take out one of the. I don't know why I still have it, but I do. Shard of airstone. What? What? What do these do?
Oh, I don't really use money. I just go and they give me whatever I want.
Can you come with us?
Of course, yeah. It will be like a field trip.
Oh, so how I could make it so that plants go better down in the floor. Why?
Oh,
Would that be?
I think that they have some people that tend to lark on, so I don't think that's like that weird of a thing. But maybe.
can we put this in perspective before we? I know it sounds crazy leaving the voice of reason. As much as powerful as I feel like I've become, and how much you've grown in the last 2 weeks, are you telling me that you can we, with the might of just Lysandia, can hold up to the might of the Empire with a powerful scion, with just one powerful scion, but a powerful sorcerer, with all that he couldn't even
If we don't want to defeat the entire army, we just need to cut the head of the snake
Got ahead of one mistake, like they did, and two more repeated mistakes.
Make a vibe.
Yes.
Yes, but in this case, we would install water. Water
It's actual.
right. Either we install water or we install
Flower.
flour. How we each three have their own merits. Different place. Either
David, what is Quantum thinking in this moment?
No, frankly, I think I have more trust in quarters.
Me too.
it is not so much the leadership that I'm thinking of. It is
Oh, I can make him look like this.
I look at very yes, but your natural form with Halo with it's a privilege and celestial by itself.
The Halo springs into action.
I know what you're all saying, but again, we
Ah.
gotta pick up not one, but three of them, and we also need to make one.
Hala, roll me 1d10.
What's his name? The one that we couldn't beat up.
Oh, the bloody paladin one.
Yeah. So we got a paladin we need to definitely take out. We need to take out Lady. What's her name?
High Inquisitor, whatever her name.
Luciana Valera. We've also got to take out Joe Ralph, and we don't even know what I'm going to do. We don't know the other people that are potentially going to be there. We've also got to unify the kingdom of Sandia, Lewin, and the other outer realm, as well as then make people who are loyal to the Empire fall in line with us. This is not just a revolution. This is completely changing how we are, and also then molding the bottom.
So, as you guys are talking, and Kauliki, as you guys are talking, Kauliki flashes the halo, and you see AzerrA glints for like a second, almost like in pain, and there's like the veil itself, the realm tries to like shadow it, so it stops emitting that dim light and becomes like, have you ever like held the hand to a lantern and blocking the light? It becomes almost like that, like the glow coming through like something black covering it.
Do I feel like Arthur's in pain?
No, not in pain, more like I'm uncomfortable.
Do we all feel like
um yes, you would all feel that because of the bracelets of friendship. So you would feel that somebody that is connected to you is feeling anxious and kind of like annoyed.
Every other day.
What do as I get a bit more clear than get probably honestly. All I'm saying is this is worse than we are one shot. If we don't kill Joe Ralph, they will come back stronger. And I don't think you understand how powerful this man is.
He was trying to kill Russell. They smell a way of murdering him. Straight up.
I don't know how else to say this. He will destroy all of us one by one. We are mere ants to that man's power.
What is the solution? New partners do not give you solutions.
The solution that I can see, we need to basically hold off the attack. for as long as we can and create counterattack in other regions. We need to use AzerrA's portal of changing around yeah. We need to deal out kingdoms. We need to play politics. We are the knights of the round table. All of us basically need to find the
With
line.
all these plays, I mean, I did mention I lived basically on an deserted island my entire life, so I have not really been catching up on
Round
pop
table
culture.
is King Arthur's
Would like a royal set design and put them while in the Empire.
It's a side hustle, you know.
Roll me a d100. Roll me a d100, David.
You make a stone.
You made this stuff Excalibur.
And we have already said this in the story. So indeed, Quattle started his career as an architect. He moved, he studied, he worked, he became a good architect, and at some point, as a side hustle, he was actually doing furniture for the big like theaters and even for the royal family. There's even like somewhere a statue or a painting made of Quattle shaking the hand of the king as the first Beast Walker architect to be invited to the palace.
So you kind of look at it and like I'm a theater kid. So I'm like fucking the cotton like, oh, you make a big bet. But in seriousness, the way to save Nasandia is make uprising it in Elsewhere to split the Empire's forces. If they descend fully on Nasandia, everything we've learned and everything we've known, Eric, will die. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to raise horror and fear in your heart. But we cannot get distracted. If you go down to, I forget what the was called. I'm just going to call it Horse Land. It's really using my brain. If you go down to Horse Land, and we spend too much time there, and as you say, we lose, and we get sidetracked, as I know we do. It's less time for us to save Zambia. I need to go to Chilwell and create an uprising there. We need to go to other outlanded places and create rebellions there. If we can stop every force from Zambia, we save your family and friends.
You guys can take a short rest. You've been talking for an hour.
An hour distorted time or an hour real time?
An hour real time. Sorry to interrupt, Callum.
That's fine. We split the card.
Even if we were to do that as a group, it would take one day to raise a rebellion. The rebellion is not done in one day. It takes several, like, a day would be even start even drawing the emotion of the empire. Yes. Quarter will have my idea either Tauriki or Quarter from different units to assignment. Because the problem is if once I am aware of what effect Tauriki has as a broom, perhaps it is something we can use for advantage.
You could
And-
then
And for the record, rather, horror and loss is not concern. Stand with my people. Die, I die on my people. Come back with my weapon. Hold back.
I know you will. This is Tauriki. I'm normally a jovial person. I love to look at the optimistic side, but every optimism I say that unless you have people, Eric's thing about dying on his feet and will come true. And I know what you're saying. I agree. I think Bottle was spurring Sandian, but I think Tauriki is a brewed what mother brewed what just herself and his being at a charm and his wings will keep those people going. If I take the Shah and Ephraim has the smart jobs, not everyone in my life. And Shah has the magic that we all see. I can rage through the and then make our way either on by foot or with AzerrA's help. We can then start to experience more rebellion to marching on element long stand down. That will draw most of the crowd away. But I promise you, Joel will still attack the Zambia, and he will still come. And as you saw when he did the Ellen,
Bryn. No, Kirth.
as you saw with Kira, one night, and they flattened the city to the ground. Nathania, as much as would stand, they will bomb every woman and child in the city. I need you to understand that you're fighting as honourable and as good as you be, but no good to people that we lose. We need to raise and just pull the attention up. If you can make Jorah keep his eyes off Nathania for a week or 2 weeks, we win this war. But without Nathania and without a unified rebellion, we are nothing but just twins. Apes together stronger. Yes.
Look, Gabba, I agree, but we just need, as I said, I agree with raising rebellion against them. That Porto cannot do outside that point. Because we do not know who our allies are, who will be the disrespecters, who will be the opportunists, who will attempt to take his life and bring his head on a platter. So long as we do not know where they're coming from. I think the ideal situation is that we go get what we need, get down there, come back, we rest. To whatever extent you have, AzerrA, could send us to different places. But we don't know the extent of it.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do it.
Then at this point, I could look at the bracelet. Does this allow us to even communicate with each other?
I think very loudly towards Stella.
So the bracelet, if I remember correctly, the text that I sent everybody, allows you to cast the message cantrip as a bonus action and you don't have to see the creature. You just need to know where they are. But that is within the range of the spell, which is 120. 30? Yeah. Yes. So it removes the thing of like having to point to the creature.
So kind of you here screaming.
The only thing we can do is all of us now should be able to communicate with AzerrA because we are linked. We can only we can send messages to AzerrA. That is my only thing as our go-between. I know you do not trust it. I'm pretty sure I understand that you yourself have probably the least stress out of all of it. But I feel like this is the only way we can make this work. And I hate, as you said, Cody, we've only just been back together, but we've not stood up. I cannot watch you all die.
Well, yes. Like, don't be afraid. If you die, I can bring you back. But yeah, that's the bad. Each time that you die, your soul kind of fragments. A part of your soul wants to go and be returned to the elements, and so we are kind of pulling it. It's like making a lasso with magic and trying to tie it here, but each time that you die, that the rope kind of cuts itself a little bit. So Eric is probably on his last life, maybe. I let me look at you.
Eric laughed.
And
I'm not surprised.
Eric, from the bracelet, the friendship bracelet that has integrated into your skin, you feel like tendrils kind of inserting themselves in your skin and uh, merging with your veins. You feel it's uncomfortable at first, but as it keeps going, it starts to feel warm and close. And you feel your heartbeat, and then another heartbeat that is slightly off tune with yours until it synchronizes and both heartbeats become just one. And everybody that sees, well, Eric is covered in fur, but you would see where there's scars, sort of like the veins becoming a little bit bulkier. As Eric, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as AzerrA is checking all of your information.
Junior Bronco, sir.
Just roll for Bitcoin.
I'm going to.
It was not me who said
I,
that.
I'm going to come forward and tell you that the DC is 25. Yeah. So after just a few seconds, once the heartbeats synchronize, you feel those tendrils start to pull back and they kind of like go back to the friendship bracelet, and you feel your blood flows normally again and goes, well, maybe one more time, but it's going to be hard. So don't die, okay?
This is not.
I'm the bulwark. I do not stand between what is attempting to kill them. Who is that?
Also, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? Uh, I think you know, but there's something else inside you. Do you want?
No.
No?
Marco stays
Oh, oh, oh,
when she is.
oh, okay, okay,
She does not go
okay. Uh, and
to be forcibly removed by you, by
Okay.
I say
Of course. I'm sorry. And you feel it.
Is it a triangle?
Pentagon, not
What is that?
It doesn't feel.
It always writes itself when you
It doesn't feel physical. It's more like in your mind. You feel like another tendril kind of going out.
So, so let's go to Horseland. We spend.
we find what we need.
We spend an hour to.
We cannot put a time limit on it. The problem is we do not know what we need.
AzerrA, can I get a sundial for my arm to show me the time or something like that?
um,
I want to say a watch, but I can't imagine watches would be a thing in this kind of.
so you see in the skin that has merged with the special friendship bracelet, the skin kind of opens and it kind of like stretches, leaving a hole that starts to fill with your own blood. And you see like an eye blinking for a second, and the eye morphs into a clock, actually.
Great, I got a skin fit.
And you've never seen a clock. You don't know how to read it, but for some reason, when you look at the eye that has the shape of a clock, you know exactly what time it is while you are in here.
Just gave the keen light.
Not really.
one part of it.
Yeah. I look at Portal. What you focus or things that can allow you to function even better.
I hire diamond or resurrect. Ideally, more fence.
Well,
If you want, do you want something to spy on Jorov? Do we need that? Or is that a?
I mean, do we need it? That's a good question. But I think it would be useful to know what it's up to and perhaps learn some skills.
What was the material cost again?
It's a crystal of some sort, so a mirror or a crystal ball.
Yeah, but how much? 1,000.
Yeah, but that's D&D Beyond money. I don't really know what the
It'd be like
inflation rate is between in-game currency and D&D Beyond money.
My current rate is normally like roll 20, 100 per 100 CP as a material. So I could just roll 10 times.
ooh, holy fuck!
Seems a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I've got the money. I've got the money to actually. Basically, I got the money to give you, but I couldn't then. If I found my farmer, I would want to buy that more than I would. So maybe we could split them off. Maybe it's like I split 500 for like that, and then 5 rolls on the table. Granted, bottle could end up anywhere in the world. That is the risk.
I could switch places with Jor-El.
Oh my god.
be a boss move. That will be I tell you that.
Just get a mirror, and all of a sudden, Jorov appears. You're like, oh shit.
I mean, to be
Wow,
fair,
really lifelike this guy.
I mean, technically we could game it where Portal would
Oh yeah, and
Pet-
for each one of those I roll 2 and pick the deck.
test scry enough, and then
Yes.
and then we can find it.
So we get 2 hours we spend in this place. I mean, back to Captain Pond, come back, we rest, we then come up with a plan, and then we back up this empire. I wouldn't just do the opposite side. I go to the next town, and I would just rise with that in there. I go to the next town, and rise with that in there. I would not stop until this gold of an empire is off, and we start again. And then we'll connect. We'll then fight Zera. Who knows?
Let's go then. Let us death march.
So, when we come back from our break, AzerrA will ferry you guys down to Equestria, the horseland, I guess. Horseland, for fuck's sake. Why do I come up with names?
Are you saying it right?
Ah, this is why we cannot have good things. We'll be back after the break. No. We'll be back after this short break.
You know that and I don't.
You guys ready to go buy some shit? So,
Go shopping!
oh fuck my hip. So I'm already recording. Why are you in the? Gotta love that standard position. So after you guys discuss for over an hour, there's some tea, there's some food. AzerrA kind of like feeds you. It tastes fine enough. So, good enough that it reminds you of some nostalgic flavor from your childhood. And everybody actually sees different food on the table. Everybody sees their favorite food. They don't see the favorite foods of the other people. So for something like Gaba, it would be a table with a lot of meat and a lot of hot, traditional Orcish flavor plates. For somebody like Eric, there would be meat, but also a lot of grains and some other meat that grows in the savannah. Uh, so yeah, everybody sees like a completely different table. After you, so many cabbages. So after you come up with a plan of action, AzerrA just opens up the veil, and you see this, like the dark matter that forms this space starts to turn into sort of a platform, and AzerrA just goes, are you guys ready? We can go whenever you want. Yeah. So you all hop onto like this black platform, and it starts moving. There's You don't feel wind or anything as you are moving, and the space is filled with like pleasant aromas reminiscing of each of your homelands. Uh, there, for those of you with a high enough perception, you would see there's like a very fine threads of black tendrils forming some sort of like constant sphere, but they are so small, almost they are even smaller than hairs, that allow you to look outwards. But you see how, as you are moving, the miasma itself seems to be parting to let you move, until you arrive to what would be the back of the horse, or the back of Lorcan. and there's like this s- small like pier with docks, and you see about 30 different flying vessels parked here, and just non-operational at the moment. As you are approaching the city, you see there's many tall buildings. This place seems to extend for more than 20 kilometers. It's the horse is so large that once you are about the height of its skin, you cannot see the end. The city itself seems to be made out of a lot of buildings using stones, but Eric, you notice there's like these pillars in each of the corners of this building that seems to be covered in some sort of um, runes that you can see from the distance. Uh, each time that the horse steps and moves, the runes seem to glow faintly. Some sort of shock absorption, maybe. Uh, as you approach, you start seeing what from far away seem to be tall, large buildings everywhere. They start to appear more rundown, as if maintenance has not been kept on all of them. And especially as you are arriving here on the docks, you see there are some buildings in particular that have seem to have been completely abandoned and let go. There, some of them are just completely shut off, and some of them are covered in moss and other plants, and that is something that surprises you. This place, as you approach, it gives very much a, if you have watched the show Arcane, it gives that essence of Piltover with those very geometrical, very uh, aligned buildings. Everything seems to be made with curvature inserted into them, some sort of spirals. It seems almost as a very finely crafted necklace that made out of silverware that has been shapen into a livable quarters. And there are plants growing along the silver. They seem to be crystalline, crystalline flora. Some of them do end up in what seems to be leaves, but you know that as you approach and you walk close to them, you notice that these leaves are almost metallic-like in their way. And as you land on this platform on the back of the horse, you see there are a crew of mostly orcs and some gnomes uh, carrying some cargo from one of the flying vessels, taking stuff out and taking it to what you assume is some sort of warehouse nearby the docks. Uh, all of these orcs are covered in similar magical channels, uh, similar to that of Gava's scar, but they seem to be more metallic rather than skin having grown over them. And all of these channels of metal that course through the body of these orcs taking this cargo are glowing constantly, just like when Gava uses her powers and she starts to glow like energy coursing, but at all times. And as you approach, you see some of the orcs notice you, and they kind of like go for like a weapon that is on their back, some sort of like large metallical rod with a hole in the middle. But you see the gnomes raise their hand and go like, "It's okay, it's okay." As soon as they see AzerrA next to all of you, and welcome to.
Yes, yes, that was.
Y- yeah. Yep. So no, no. So what are you doing?
Is AzerrA coming with us?
Yeah. Speaking of which, you don't see Marlishot or Thuras.
But I want to know if AzerrA is
Yeah, yeah.
staying.
Ash, Ashera is with you, and you see they go. Okay. So, ah, oh yes, 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 yes. If anybody gives you trouble, just show them the bracelet, and they should be fine. Everybody here is good people. We all are really good friends. But I, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ditch you guys. I kind of need to go talk to Kyorshis. He's
Once. And I will like take him, her, them a little bit to the side. I realized that is it something I saw? Is it something in which you cannot do in the present? I can turn that off.
it does remind me of mother, and it's not a good feeling. So,
Who is your mother?
do you ask them that?
Yeah.
Oh, Ambrose herself, but it was for a short time.
I mean,
Well, you can give me a relation check if you'd like, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this has been told to you at some point during the campaign.
I am good at religion. Okay, take that. That will be a 17.
So, just like Callum said, uh, there's this. This was talking about when you guys encountered the first demons, the two that came out of the chalice that Merklan brought. Yeah, we are talking about almost
First,
30 something episodes ago.
40 something.
40 something already.
Yeah, we
And
are at 47 right now.
yeah, so the thing that you heard, and so you rolled the 17. You know that whenever strong emotions, cultures, cities uh, came together in the same feeling, the same emotion, that energy would gather, and a god would give them their divine spark, and that would create an angel. But there were some cases where, due to certain uh, outside interventions, that energy would turn corrupted, and that's how demons are actually born. When the energy created by the worshipping is that of like famine or of war, that's how a demon is born. You don't know how the relationship between good energy being touched by the spark of a god and the corrupted energy by bad things happening to the mortals relate to AzerrA. It's like you are missing a link there. And yeah, Bishar is not here, so that's what you get with the 17.
So, I did not know that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. I didn't tell you
Seems
so.
we have something common then.
Oh, yes,
I hope that it's fun then.
yes.
Or like happiness.
Uh, yeah, I I don't like my brothers. But you're fine. You're fine. I'm sure that you are cool.
Sure. So you're leaving us here?
Ah, yes. Like, as soon as we touched Larkon, Kyrgyz has kind of like demanded, I think is the word, my presence. He doesn't really like it when I come unannounced.
Sure. Have a great then. Great day.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. As they say it here in the underworld, have a great whatever.
Have a great whatever then.
Not whatever day.
So yeah,
And I will come back to the group.
you see AzerrA kind of like melts into that puddle of dark ichor, and it seems to be absorbed by the street itself.
I vanquished the demon.
If they well, will you turn me back here in 2 hours?
What are ours?
That we
Thought we were going to go as a group. Quickly gather what we need and then get out.
We can, but it would just be like if do you ever go to a store and like you're with like someone and it's taking so long you want to go to like another store, you're at like the armory and you want to go to like the post
Get on
store
with
and
it.
it takes so long.
I think you are taking quite long right now. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna meet you backstage though. I need to go find my see if there's any outfit.
So,
I'm not gonna be that
We
far
might
away.
need your money.
Well, I can't imagine I can do it. I'm pretty
Bitch.
Fair enough. So we will travel as a fragmented group, basically.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be like
No, fair enough.
okay. So, as you guys start walking, you see the city. There's you all. Why don't you all give me? Let's call it yeah. Let's call it an investigation. I was either between investigation or perception to see how you find your way around the city. Maybe you just come up with the solution and ask somebody, or you tell me. If you are just going to like go place to place trying to find something, give me an investigation check.
I am asking this looking. Yes.
so perception.
So yeah. So Kauliki, you go to like somebody and ask them. Hmm?
Perception, right?
Yeah, investigation.
Can I go persuasion?
You go to someone. Okay. So you see this city. The streets are wide, are big. You see there's like everything seems to be covered in some sort of metallic plate that is smooth. Doesn't seem that there was like different layers or sheets of metal that were soldered. It just seems to be like one continuous plate of metal that goes constantly. And there seems to be like some rails in the middle of these metal plates in where the streets are. You see there's not that many people walking, but uh, you saw some people going out of the flying vessel. So you go to one of them. Okay.
The one that saw us arriving with us.
Yeah, you see, there's like a gnome. Has like a leather vest with like a symbol that is kind of like a hand grabbing a stone. And the gnome just has like this long, flowy, curly hair, and seems to have like some sort of like metal tablet, uh, and is kind of like touching into it as you approach. And he'll, oh, hi. Yeah, yeah. you're new. How can I help you?
Yes.
This would be the first time that Kauliki meets a gnome.
No. No.
No.
Was the merchant made demon made the
Oh.
twins?
Oh yeah,
Oh, right.
Clint.
Yeah,
Oh.
that one.
The pompous inventor Clint.
Yep. Yep. So this gnome uh, seems to be like very, and you notice all of the gnomes seem to have like very ambiguous like factions, very androgynous. They all seem to be like very soft. So imagine K-pop idols turn into gnomes. And goes, yeah, hi, you're new. I have.
Yes, quite new to the place down here.
Are you a refugee?
No, do you get many refugees here?
Not many. Maybe like 50 years ago we did get them very constantly, but the miasma out there has started to turn thicker, so not so often anymore.
I am looking to purchase some goods. What would be the best place to gather some materials for example, um, for the arcane, or for the or jewelry, you know, diamonds,
Mm,
gold. Where would that be? Or very expensive mirrors?
um. Oh, you probably want to go to the Ethereal Arcana Curious. It's in the Muse district.
Arcana Curious.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's in the Muse district. You can see it. It's run by one of my cousins, Sephira. Just look for the store with a green statue of a naked gnome.
Okay. Thank you very much. What's your name? Excuse me, I forgot to ask.
Ah, yeah. My name is Kilios.
Kids.
I'm.
I'm Kauliki.
Oh, nice to meet you. So, do you have something to trade, or are you just a newcomer?
I don't. I have some money from up there.
From up there, and you see him looking at like buildings.
You know, over the miasma. You are not here.
You see the gnome drops like this metallic slab on his hand and goes like, that was a good one, good joke. Yeah. Uh, so, and he grabs like the tablet. So, I don't know if you need anything. If you want to join the scavengers, we are always recruiting the new people.
Oh, I don't think I'll be staying very long. I think a friend that just melted away will be picking us up.
I rolled the second natural one in insight, and he goes, not going to stay long. Of course. Yeah, this is the only living place in the world. Where would you go? You're a jokester.
Of course.
Now, though, I would go to maybe one of the smithies to kind of fix the some of your metal. It's looking kind of like the metal is. Yes, those small adornments in your garments, they are looking kind of sluggish, not well polished. You don't want people to be talking about how you look, do you?
Where do I have metal? I don't think I have metal on me.
You are still wearing the Sleepy Cow uniform, and the symbol, the it has like shoulder pads that are covered in metal.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I don't use that. I can just. You know what? Tell me where I can buy a dress.
Oh, a dress. Let me read.
This is how Kaorika will get her outfit for Tailspire.
I would go to Miss Ware's Textiles. It's in the Soulforge district near the Whistle Market. They do really good fabrics. Normally used for balls and stuff like that. If you are looking for a dress.
No, that's fine. That's the same way.
No. We are currently on the so much information.
Come on. Spit it out.
We are currently on the Arrowhead district. You want to go to the Muse district that's near the head of Larcos, or you could go.
The horse has a name.
Yes, Larcos. They should have told you this in the welcome to the Horse City welcome party.
I think I'm sure they said it. I sometimes forget things. I'm sorry.
Give me for the first time you are going to roll rather than me. Give me a deception check.
Deception. I'm not that stupid at deception. This is the 7th 11 I rolled today, so that will be 18. No, that is not true. That is 15.
Okay, 15. Still good enough. I've been rolling under a 2.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. So we are right now on the Arrowhead district. This is like your first week. It's fine. Don't worry. So you want to get all the way to the head of Larcos to get to the Muse district, and on the way there you are going to stop by the Soulforge district, so you could get your dress on the way to go fix your metal.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That is wonderful. Do you have any plants here?
Oh.
Like naturally.
Oh, you said plants. I thought that you were inviting me to something bad. Well.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't know.
Well.
Speak no good.
Well, there are some plants growing there. We call them silver dews, but I wouldn't try to eat them.
Oh no, it will warn before eating. Thank you very much. I have something. I don't know. Do you consume? I think it's alcohol.
Oh yeah. So we actually do have really good stuff in here, but if you brought something from the old world, we would.
Yes, I have something from technically my mother, and I give him the barrel of meat from Kaina.
Oh,
thank you for your trouble.
I'm so. Oh, you are giving this to me. I'm sorry that your mother died. Are you sure this is a lot?
Oh, I can make anything taste like it, so it's fine.
Oh, that's useful. And he turns around and just as you are walking away, you see like one of the orcs with like the metal veins tattoos approaches, and you hear the gnome saying, "I just made enough money to last for like a year." And they start like going with the barrel, giving everybody a sip. What is everybody else doing?
I assumed they just scattered and left Kaoliki to her own devices. Very not smart move.
I don't know. Let's go in order. Gava, what is Gava doing?
Gava's on an investigation check to find, looking for like armorers or like second-hand trinket shop, find different pieces of armor or armats that I think
Trailwind is the name of the district. Tielrom is the name. Tiarmilan is the name of the city that is now Elam.
I'm just gonna call it the Big T because I want to find Big T's. Want to see Big T armor. I'm trying to find the armor set for like the know I've got my own Warhammer, but I want to try and find stable Warhammer as well. Try and keep that friend is reminded me about many years.
Okay. So what did you roll for investigation?
70.
17. Okay. So you start going down one of these main streets. As you are walking, you just follow like a friend's voice saying, "Mistress, I detect a faint signal of a piece of Telrium's equipment. Would you like to follow the signal?"
Yes.
And like in your mind, this arrow appears, kind of a quest pointer.
His friend's just an AR at this point.
And yeah, you just go and start follow. It takes like a couple of minutes walking down the city. This place is really big. At some point, you go past like this big tower with a giant opening, and you see there's a lot of like orcs and some dwarves, all of them with the lines going in and outside of the tower. You don't see at any point there's like some sort of like city watch or city guard. Nothing catches your eye like that. And as you are walking, you see at some point you hear like a "huh, huh, huh," and you look behind you and there's like two gnomes sitting on top of like this small chair that is like floating about maybe like 3 centimeters higher than the ground, going on this rail, and they are just going like, "Ah, come on, just move, we need to pass." Yep.
Sorry. I didn't realize I was in your way. You should have, used your voice instead of honking at me like some weirdo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, are you new here?
Yeah. Hurry.
Well, you'll get fine just enough. If you need anything, just ask questions. I'm sorry, I'm kind of in rush to go do my report. And you see these two gnomes just like float forward in this like metallic chair, made out of like some sort of silver, and you do notice like some patterns engraved into the silver. As you
I think to myself, like, we had 3 ships up top. I want to be a pirate of one. They get flying chairs, and they're a pirate on their own.
It's like the Wally chairs.
Yeah. As you keep walking, you come to a line, and you see how like the metal that is marking the street changes color slightly, goes from a dark irony tone to more of like a very polished silver, but not enough for it to like reflect light or be annoying. Even though they do seem polished, they are kind of like mate. So you just keep going, following friends' directions, and you end up arriving to a place called uh, to a central plaza, very big place, surrounded by different stores that
Start having PTSD about classes.
uh, the this plaza is surrounded by different commerces. Most of them seem to sell some sort of metal work. You cross past a lot of like different stores that do very crafty metal in very delicate silver work. Um, and you said that you rolled a 17, right? So you notice there seems to be like in general three types of store in this district. Those run by dwarves that seem to be more ironwork, more sturdy things. Those run by orcs, which seem to be more tailor, more dresses in general. And those run by gnomes, which seem to be more accessory and silverware and stuff that requires more like delicate work. In general, that's kind of like the types of store that you see as you approach a plaza that is has like this giant anvil, maybe like 5 meters wide, 3 meters high, and the anvil is like leaking this glowing white liquid. And you see from time to time somebody comes from one of the stores, puts something, and just in the anvil kind of like absorbs it and releases it back up into the metal. And once it emerges from the inside the anvil, it seems to be glowing in a very shiny and delicate way, almost glimmering with magic. And as you say that,
You become the +1.
as
Level up time, boys.
as you say that, you hear in your voice, "Mistress, look to your left," and you see it. You look to your right. Okay, you see uh, then a bazaar with like steam whistles in the entrance, and a lot of people kind of like trading different goods. You see there's like the most people are trading metalwork for uh, other goods, metalwork for stuff like food, for like these pills. You see there's a lot of especially in the gnomes, most of them are buying this sort of like drink that comes in a vial that is completely white but glimmers as if a harsh sun was shining on silver. And as they drink it, you see like the fatigue in their eyes seems to like wash out immediately. And you see like out of every 10 gnomes that drink this white liquid, 7 of them immediately grab like some sort of metal slab and start to scribble quickly, making notes or writing something.
Now, I don't want to. Are you drinking that liquid milk?
Maybe you don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna. I can't see anything. Where am I looking, friend?
uh, to the other left, mistress.
Oh, I look the other way.
Yeah, so you look into a place. It seems to be some sort of shop that sells an antiquities, old stuff that has been recuperated, recovered from the all of the visits to the remainder of the underworld. It says the luminous gear, and it has like this sort of like clockwork sort of shield that kind of moves, and like every 5 or so minutes just goes back and hits against like a sword. And when it does, you see like there's this like flying vessel model that just like goes from left to right and leaves some sort of glimmering light on top of the shield and the sword.
Okay, I'm gonna go in there. I'm obviously gonna look for. Oh, I think I'm gonna help me. I want to pick these set, but I also want to look for armor, for portal, Bishar, expert. Eric. Eric. Eric's got the armor that's pretty cool. So I know he's very.
Excuse me,
What?
I do use
Oh
my
no,
blade.
sorry. Yeah, you do use. But you wouldn't use any. I wouldn't say you wouldn't use anything else. There's no point in you playing like an extra sword. Maybe I'll buy Eric a nice little like circlet type thing, with a little crown on his head.
Or maybe a
Some
cloak
berries.
that maybe displaces where he truly is.
I'll look for a magic cloak. I'll tell you what, I'll just have a look for something. I'll have a look for the for Eric. Like something interesting that I may see. And I don't know, because Calvin, I don't think can actually wear armor. So
Okay.
I know she's quite good. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna look for like nice jewelry for like Calvin, like a ring or something. Something like really nice and like pretty. Protect. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna start looking for.
Okay. So as you
I think Vishal can wear armor as well.
I can't wear armor.
Yes, I definitely can. I am wearing one.
Okay.
No.
Non-metal.
Yes, I was going to say.
I can use a shield, but I can't wear armor.
That's a point which I probably would have mentioned at some point. I can't wear metal armor, so if you're going medium, it has to be like scale armor out of natural animal scales.
I'll have a look. Yeah, so I'll I like for like quite a while get like a shield. So it's a shield that like cover his back. So it looks like like a little cat.
That seems like something custom made.
The hole where his head goes. It's like a head shield. You can't go back.
Yeah. Okay. So as you enter this store, it's run by a dwarven woman. We are not going to roll the whole interaction. She introduces herself as Lunaki Silverambil. And so you see amongst the items that it's mostly antiques, stuff that hasn't been crafted by the gnomes of the city, stuff that has been recuperated from outside. So I will just tell you the items that she has right now. So you see there's like these needles that yeah there's like small needles that have a pattern almost like a bee, and they are adorned with like this silver thread. You see there's like a dragon tooth that has been turned into a whetstone and is completely adorned by a lot of silver and copper, very regal. You see there's like this bracer made out of silver and gold, imbued with some ether stones of blue tint with red small red dots. It seems to be well taken care of in the metallic parts, but the ether stones seem to have lost or become dull, so the runes themselves are hard to look at. You see there's like a sword that is sheathed, but the hilt is like this long icicle that turns into a sharp point and doesn't have a pommel. And there are like multiple ring sets, from normal mundane rings to very complex, very elaborated rings with what you assume are like religious patterns and symbolisms. And um, there are a couple of armor pieces, mostly made out of leather. Uh, the leather has been well maintained, and you see there's like a case of like 20 different bottles of different crystals and some other things here and there. You see there's a teddy bear that is brown and has like a smiling face and a small sword made out of felt.
Is there also like a small bag of dog?
Mister, you can stab it.
Yes, there are 3 bags of dog treats.
They picked that one up that you
Yeah.
heated.
Dropped out of the sky one day. Oh,
Uh, they are pointing at you at the bracer.
How much break the cost? I basically I want noodles, break whetstone, sword, I want one of those complex rings. I want
I'm already wearing that.
You see there's like this cape made out of leather that seems to be flowing even though there's no wind inside of this store.
I will buy a cake.
Okay, so let me tell you some of the prices. For the bracer, in the currency of this world, she is asking for 155 gold pieces, large gold. Um, Now,
You will be needing to do some work here.
keep in mind, large gold equals platinum in traditional 5th edition. So it's pricey. She's dying. Yep.
It's 150 times more expensive as my mirror.
It's 1500 gold coins. Actually, the crystal ball, I looked it up. Uh, it starts at 5000 gold coins.
Yeah, but the mirror.
I don't know. So that's for the bracer. And you see she's like a merchant. She sweet talks you saying we found this in a collapsed temple made out of wood that was on an island. After the scavengers got this, the island ended up falling to the core, so there's no way of going back to know anything. We will never know who it belonged to, stuff like that. uh, so I will actually tell you the prices of everything else to have as reference. The whetstone made out of a dragon's tooth is worth 75 gold pieces. The blade made out of an icicle is worth 100 gold pieces. The most expensive ring is worth 200 gold pieces.
I think that's fair. It's going to.
The needles are 25 gold pieces. Uh, the cape is worth 10 gold pieces. And what else did I tell you? Am I missing something? Yeah.
Go for the cheaper ring. Jesus Christ.
Yep. The sword is the one that is made out of an icicle. The teddy bear had a sword. Yeah, there's like a set of 20 random bottles. Oh, for the bottles, it's just 15 gold pieces.
Go for the cheap ring. Jesus Christ.
You see, while you are deliberating, there comes one of the orcs that there actually comes a gnome with like a barrel made out of wood, just a barrel, and there's like no liquid inside. They open, the dwarf just looks around and goes, I will give you 1 gold piece for this wood. Yeah, you come to the conclusion that since this place doesn't have like a mountain or a forest or stuff like that to retrieve natural resources, whatever is scavenged out there is really expensive.
I need those fucking tic tacs. I want them.
What would it take to get?
Each day it generates 1d4 pills, and each pill is a random memory of a random person in the world.
I want them.
Oh, those were great. I remember that.
Find me, I have backpacks full of shit.
Okay. So, for a potion of healing, no persuasion made. She's going to offer you just 3 silver pieces. Um, why don't you give me a persuasion check for everything? Okay, so you have the globes of fast mining. Okay, let me give me a second. So that is with that roll, I'm going to buff up the price by 10%. Okay. 2 ether stones attuned to fire. Okay. What else? A normal short bow. Ah, you still have the orc made out of orc skulls. Okay. Okay, so she doesn't even want to look at the bow with the skulls. She's not going to buy it. But the short bow. Okay. Okay, so for everything with that roll, she's going to offer you 40 gold coins and 5 silver coins. We do very interesting things here in Fate Weavers.
You have a mechanical keyboard.
Sorry.
I'm still trying to find a needle. It's levitate. Crystal ball. That's not very low.
Sorry, the crystal what?
Crystal.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now let's talk about. I want to haggle ring. I want to haggle one ring. Wet from Ambrose. I want to haggle all. I want to haggle.
What's the price right now for everything that I told you? Okay, large calls. Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check. And you see she goes, yes, because we got these needles and they were in the nursery of an old elven home that was sunken by the core. We just managed to get it. We also, the boys from the ships also got some stone that is being used right now. It's a very hot item, very new. Nothing. Yeah, persuasion. 26. Well, we sell items from the old world, forgotten histories and tales in this place. A tale is nothing without an item to accompany it. If you were willing to part with something that has a tail attached to it, I could make a consideration.
Found in the mines, we'll have to buy. Found in the mines, blah blah blah. Is yeah.
Give me a deception check. And keep in mind, this person is used to buying and selling items from sailors. 21. You see, she's skeptical about the some of the details that you said, especially the globes. But whenever you mention a place that she doesn't know and she inquires, and you tell the details of what the environment was like and the conditions that the item was acquired, especially the mine back in Grelia, uh, she she starts to believe that the tales that you are telling are from before 60 years ago, before the fracturing, and she's actually going to buy it for an extra 10 coins, going to 50 coins and a half. Nope. So, what are you buying? You are not buying, you are not getting more money out of this person, you get the feeling of. Uh, so, there was an orc here.
How about show her friend? Show her friend? What friend? The friendship bracelet. Because he said if anyone gives a chance, show the bracelet.
That feels like spending social currency you do not have.
She has it. That is okay. Sorry. What is more stupid, my way or his way?
Oh, wow.
Gaba,
You don't look through.
what is what is Gaba's passive perception? 14. So when you were walking and you were looking at all of the stores, the whistle market, everything, you saw that these people were not carrying like large sums of coin. They instead had like this card that they would like do open and coin would come out of it. And you notice that most of the stores had like a symbol on top of them, kind of like a coin and a circle underneath. And you recognize this symbol uh, from a time that you were back in Elam. It is the symbol of a merchant guild, and you know that merchant guilds are often they don't tend to have guards inside of the store because they are protected by all of the merchant guild themselves, and all of the coin they do well they do pay for the merchant alliance, but it's also works as some sort of bank so that these commerces that are aligned to this guild don't have to have a lot of coin at hand, and they are not susceptible to burglary.
Please don't rob a bank. How about this? I can't find it, so I'm gonna buy sidetrack.
Okay. Okay. So what are you buying?
Hang on. Another customer just entered the store.
So okay. So yeah. So while Gaba is buying stuff from an old lady, okay. So what items are you buying?
So I'm buying the needle into the thread with levitation and what I buy that, and then I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna summon friend, I'm
Hmm.
gonna go back in, I'm gonna so I'm gonna buy that thing. Then I'm gonna go back in, summon
Wait. Give me a moment, cause I need to write this down, cause it's a lot of things happening at once. So let me open my notepad so that I make note. So you said that you are buying the the needles. What else? The co- the coat, okay, and one crystal bottle. Okay. S- So you pay for that, right?
I use that box, then I'm gonna leave the shop, I'm gonna summon two friends, I'm gonna go back in and distract them with oh, I've learned. Tell me a bit more about it, and I wanna like try to distract you, and what friends say, two friends, so I just wet those like the why did you see those friends?
Okay.
I didn't kill an officer. My car did when I ran him over.
So I'm going to need a performance check from Gava and a stealth check from friend.
Well, 17 performance.
You have plus 12.
What? No, I have plus 5 performance.
Okay, Jesus. I thought you rolled a 5.
You want stealth?
Depends how is friend doing it. Is friend appearing? You don't see many people like friend walking around.
Friend will. Well, we have to get some stealth.
Okay, so here's the thing. Give me that stealth check with disadvantage. Okay, so here's what happens. As you go back into the store and you start talking to this dwarf. She's a nice old lady, but as soon as you want friend to go back in, the door opens and the dwarf woman turns like, oh, hello there, and you see friend, like this white amorphous blob walking around, and she's like, ah, huh, ha, and she looks at you and like, is he with you? And you see she starts backing away, and kind of like you see like she has all time being with like her hands like this talking together, and as she's backing away you see her hand kind of like goes slightly on her wrist. Okay, so uh roll an attack check.
Oh, this is going to go horribly. I'm very sorry.
Not 20. It's
We can say it's not evil.
Not 20 with +8, that's 28.
yeah. So that's full damage plus dice. But you are hitting her with a fist. So that's strength times 2 because you are not training unarmed strikes. Uh, are you?
I think don't half orcs don't have a natural proficiency or something? Or racial ability?
In that case, it's 4 plus d4 plus strength. Okay, so it's 9 plus a d4. 3. So you just hit this dwarven woman in the face, and it, it you it hasn't been that long since you've grown old and stronger. So you just hit her, and she immediately goes flying. Her feet impact against the counter, and she falls and rolls behind the counter. And you hear like no noise. Everything kind of falls, and for a as soon as friend turns around, metal falls on the door, and a barrier starts appearing. Miasma actually appears, covering the counter, leaving you between a metal covered door and a very thick cloud of miasma. And yeah, so so we are going to cut out to something to somebody else.
Did you hurt while falling off of your high horse?
So let's keep moving on the line. Bishar, what are you doing as you see Gaba walking down into the middle of the city?
Well, the first thing Bishal was going to do was trying to find the focus that he wanted for himself. And I'm assuming that Hibiki would tell him about the store she heard about selling magical items. I'm guessing we're going over there as well.
So you two guys are going together?
My information is
I do not have a lot of money.
I,
Definitely
Full
don't have
murder.
I don't I have this and I show you my sacrifice.
I honestly don't know how much I have. I have something written down in being young, but I don't know what sort of exchange rate I do because
Also I have a backpack with stuff.
I have a bit of stuff.
Oh, Ephraim is also there. Sure, sure. You guys move as a group.
Believe we can try and find something. So yeah, so we will go towards this store. Everybody wants to throw themselves and try to find this focus that I use for the scrying.
Okay, so you guys go to the Ethereal Arcana Curious. Uh, so to get to this point, you go through the same. You just keep walking down the metal sheets that form streets. You see, as you go out of the fucking hell. Why did I? Why can I not remember the names I created myself? As you go down outside of the uh, uh, as you go outside of the Arrowhead district, you go past the main street. There's like these giant buildings. Everything seems to be lookout and watch out towers. You see orcs and dwarves all of the same things that Gava saw. People with like these channels made out of metal on their skin, going in and out of buildings, gnomes and other people, other dwarves and orcs that don't have like those metallic channels, just seem to be going outside of this district. As you arrive into the Soulforge district where Gava is, you see she's going into a store. As you just go past this like the Whistle Market with all of the people buying stuff inside. Yeah, hala.
The whistle market is where I need to dress, right?
Yeah, you one of the stores was in the Whistle Market. That was the where the fuck is it? That was Miswear Textiles. So do you want to go into the Whistle Market?
Oh, can I quickly just get dressed? I don't really, you know, is it okay for you, Christian? Yeah, because it's very. I don't feel good in the empire things, and I point at the guilds. So
Right.
I don't think I would be wearing one of those, Santa. Yes.
I agree. Though it might be cheaper to buy something not here. And I don't really know how expensive clothes are here, but we could try.
But we can do that on the way back.
No, if you see something, we can do it. Doesn't really matter if you do it on the way there or on the way back. So, yeah, sure, go ahead.
And I would just walk into the shop, get a white linen dress.
So as you go into the Whistle Market, you see there's a lot of stands with food. You see most people are buying bowls of a soup that seems to have some sort of moss and mushrooms. Uh, Everybody seems to be kind of on a polite mood. They are very polite to each other. They all are like, good day to you, good day, yeah, yeah. But you look and you see there's like black patches underneath their eyes. A lot of people not sleeping. You with Bishar, you start seeing they have like very pale skin, most of them, and as you start noticing, the especially on the orcs is most noticeable. Those that have the metal channels seem to be muscular, but the ones that don't have that seem to be slightly malnourished, eating mostly, you assume, these sort of mushrooms and herbs. And you see there's a bunch of people buying this white glimmering drink and just like going out, almost running towards the Muse district, and you end up arriving into the this oh fuck me into the Miswear Textiles. As you enter, you are greeted by, it's mostly made out of wood, very rustic, has like that air of high fashion, like just rather than large racks of clothes, there's like some display pieces made out of fine threads. Everything seems almost ethereal. The dresses seem to be flowing even without the air. The suits are just like they look so light, so breathy, and you are greeted by this gnomish man, and he goes, hello. Would you like to try something on or get something made?
Something simple. I see beautiful gowns, very beautiful gowns to wear, but I don't need anything. Just something
Hmm.
but
Mhm.
a little maybe light. I don't think I don't know. I think like how long was your trip?
Oh,
I should say.
I don't think I have anything that could fit you. You are a little feathery, but
Something maybe something backless, like on the holster top.
oh, yeah, we can work with that. Do you have any ideas? Would you like to hear some recommendations?
Oh, something similar. I will describe the dress I
And
have on. Maybe.
and he goes, okay, so we could do some strap here and some tension over here. The thread could fall over here, and it could be flowy. And
Before you do that, just a quick. What would that cost?
well, would you like to enchant it magically or just have the
No.
okay, so just the ethereal thread then. We could do the improvements at some other time when you have some more coin. So so if it's just the threads, we can make it work for one gold piece.
We exchange goods?
Depends on the good, yeah.
I pull out a wooden flute.
Mm.
I have that. I found it. I did make it. It's just a pretty flute. It's pretty good flute.
Mm.
I
The,
have.
the wood is of good quality, but the craftsmanship lacks a little bit.
I just found it. I did. I have. I have some old key cards from some ruins. If they have some, I don't know if they have value.
Oh,
I present the Glory Macaulay ruined key cards that I had from day one.
okay. So it's like this. It's similar to the metal slab that you've seen some gnomes using, but thinner. And they grab it and ah, give me wait just here for a moment. And you see, like
You have unlimited credit. I take it.
a dwarf appears and it's like, ah, please watch over here for a second. And you see the gnome just like goes across the street. Uh, it takes, and the dwarf goes like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. It's just not a common item. Tis fine. And you see like maybe 2 or 3 minutes later the gnome comes back and goes like, well, this is certainly from an interesting origin. We haven't seen stuff from the Arcanum in a couple of years. The expeditions, we thought all of the ruins have been already taken care of. uh, so I'm not entirely certain the information has in here. It could be of great value or it could be just an entry log for a cafe. Uh, but I'm going to take a gamble of this.
Testing facilities.
Oh, do tell me more. Mm,
Are you interested in stories?
yeah, of course. We do love to hear what is going on in the rest of the underworld.
I as well was visit. I was three slaps on my
Oh, wow. Uh, that's how did you survive the miasma? How long was this?
I don't
Oh, that's weird. Most of the of your kind that has come to this city and follows Mirabel, they just were rescued from the battlefields. So if you were in a pod, that's why don't you give me a persuasion check?
that is a 19 plus 4.
Well, that is certainly very interesting. There could be some very useful information in here. I would have to take it to somebody, some of my friends, to check it and corroborate the information. But are you willing to just make an arrangement for this without knowing the information. You seem like a good lass with those wings and feathers. I trust you, girl.
There is a slight shiver of the Caleb as well.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you 45 gold coins for this. Uh, but normally the rates for magical enchantments in my dresses are slightly higher, but I will part with one enchantment in exchange for this piece of history. Well, uh,
How long would it take?
it takes about like 15 minutes.
Sure. What would that enchantment?
Oh, what would you like? I could give you a confetti that explodes when you kill an enemy. I could give you. Oh, it's really good for parties when you kill a piñata.
Does that work as well?
Yes. Do you make it work some other way?
The butcher has one.
Oh, well, that's certainly a happy butchery, I would say. Uh, you come from a strange place. So we could make you actually,
But I would like.
we could enhance your resistance to certain cold, for example, or we could make the threats sturdier. I don't know. This place is very normal, very peaceful, but I don't know what you are expecting to do.
Could you make it a little bit more suited to the mason?
Oh, I could, but it would only cover you where the dress is. It wouldn't protect you against inhaling it.
So, and I will turn to the gentleman behind me. First of all, do you think the dress suits me?
Oh, don't worry about it. And you see, he's kind of like dragging you uh, by your hand to like this metal, like this small podium that rises about like half a meter from the ground. So, what would you like? And you see, there's like this. He puts like this like glass that is very bulky and has you see covers like his eyes completely, and there's like this like line going forward and backwards.
What do you think? What would be best? And I, this is to child.
Hmm. Sure.
So,
Say any way of protecting against, I don't know, mental effects. Like,
hmm,
Get you tired?
like spells that charm you, protecting against those. Because I have a feeling that we will be encountering a lot of those. And they are a bit trickier to prevent from the physical.
hmm, I the clothes is good, but I don't think it would protect your mind. I could make it clean you constantly, and so that the sweat wouldn't irritate your skin as you are walking, aka advantage on exhaustion checks.
Nice. Actually, quite a lot. I think that happens to us a lot.
Yeah, just so you know, that would make a small reservoir in the threads of the dress, so it would fill up occasionally depending on what type of workouts you are using. After all, it's a dress, not something to go work out, so you would have to empty it from time to time, but it would certainly help. It would give you the chance to resist 1 point of exhaustion once per long rest.
That's
Okay, so let's get to work. And you see the ground beneath the podium seems to like open. You are raised up about a meter in the air with the podium, and like these like are almost metallic, like sides come and expand, and you see they just like almost like the I don't know, legs of a spider start to like uh, pull this thread that is glimmering, and it's like red, and it as it starts going around you, almost like as it starts to solidify with the rest of the thread, it turns into that bluish color that you requested and forms a dress. And would you like to describe what this dress looks like on Kauliki?
Just very quickly, because just very quickly, it's a alternate, a sweetheart neckline, and like necklace with wings. It's very flowy and necklace with a, of course, a slit down like such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, you can add to your inventory.
And the esque belt.
Okay. So you can add to your inventory the ethereal dress of sweat absorption. Uh, so once per long rest, this takes care of 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just takes like half an hour with everything, and they like weave this dress immediately out of like almost thin air, and the dress feels so light. It's almost as if you were wearing nothing, but still being warm. So yeah, you just continue on your way. Um,
Could I add my old dress to my dress?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you just keep going on your way. Uh, After you come out of the Soulforge district, the ground turns more into a like a dark copper, and you notice the buildings start to being covered by more of those silver flora. As you enter into the Muse district, you see there's a lot of like clockwork uh, constructions and buildings. There's like clocks everywhere, gears moving around, but somehow integrated into the land with those silver vines. And you end up arriving to the arcane ethereal arcane curious, the store that you were directed to go. This place is the shopkeeper is a gnome called Sephiria. She introduces herself. She's wearing a dress very similarly to yours in design, also very ethereal, but she has like this like corset on top of the dress, and like the hair seems almost like statically going upwards, almost like flowing against gravity. And what are you looking for in here?
Well, first of all, I'm going to have a look around, see if there's anything that catches my eye.
Okay. Okay. So
Which is a very annoying question of the DM, I'm sorry.
that's fine. That's fine. So this place, it's more of like a curiosity shop. There's like the typical quartz and crystals and things to attract the people. You see, there's like multiple like small vials of every shape and color with some sort of liquid inside. They each have like a small like label on the bottom that describes what they do. Other than that, there's like in the middle some shelves with like barrels on each end that have like brooms and stuff and other like long things all like clumped together. uh, there's like no counter per se, just like this gnomish woman, Sephiria, going around, kind of following you and going, "Oh yes, we have this," and "Oh, of course, oh yeah, of course, my cousin once did this." Like really annoying customer service that doesn't let you browse around without somebody shadowing you. Okay, so um, so in potions themselves, you find how much coin are you willing to spend?
Well, it depends on how much that costs. I've written down on Maybe Beyond that I have 80 platinum.
80 platinum. Okay. Okay. So you see in the potion section, there's s- s- I'm going to you just read the labels rather than the descriptions. There's a small bottle that changes your skin color to camouflage with whatever is behind you, uh, aka potion of invisibility. There's a vial in the shape of angelical wings going up. Supposedly, this will allow you to grow wings, aka potion of flying. Uh, there's a dark, almost ichor-like vial that, according to the description, will allow you to melt with shadows, aka it will allow you to cast Misty Step once. There's a vial that is kind of like a fizzy drink going up and high, like very carbonated, very quick. And the description says that it's made out of a human heart, a dragon's tongue, and the spawn ash, aka a potion of haste. Uh, there's a there's a vial in the shape of a tear and says that it's the tear of a forgotten spirit that is weeping constantly, aka it it casts the power chord spell from the bard, which deals a lot of damage in an area around you to everything. And the last potion is just like eye drops, like a small vial of eye drops, and it says that it has like it allows you to quench your eyes in the vitality of rejuvenation 10 times, aka potion of invisibility. So that's it for the items, for the potions. For the items that you see here, uh, there's like some balls that seem to be glowing from inside and kind of like something almost like a heart made out of silver. Um, it says that it holds the power to attract an elemental inside. There's a ring that is completely made out of red metal, and it says that this allows you to share your life with another creature. And there's a belt that is covered in multiple like slots, almost like a Batman utility belt. And this belt, uh, once per day, generates 1d4 random potions out of nowhere. And that's most of the items that catch your attention. There's also like the arcane components. There's like the staff that has like a ball on the top, but oh, there's I forgot to tell you about the staffs and the wands. There's oh fuck, there's like a broom. Fucking hell, the you guys go to like all of the big stores. uh, there's like this broom that has like a rainbow at the bottom. Uh, there and it says that it allows you to fly. There's this paintbrush that never runs out of black ink, and whatever you draw on the ink is supposedly becomes reality. And there's there's like three different ones, each of them with end up in like a small kind of like three silver pieces that go around, and the wand pretty much the shopkeeper will tell you that whatever elemental stone you place at the end of the wand, it will propel it and make it explode, aka fireball, frostball, earth ball. So you cast like the fireball spell in different elements depending on what stone you put on the top of the wand. And that's like most of the items that catch your attention.
I had a chance to look around. Thank you very much for your very thorough explanation. Thing.
Oh,
I was wondering how much does the paintbrush?
oh, of course. So this paintbrush was actually found in a temple like about 10, 20 years ago. It was used in ritualistic ways to do some sort of shadow puppeteering for some sort of demon. Our team didn't manage to get much information out of it, but I am willing to part ways with it for 15 gold pieces. Your glasses to identify. Okay. So as you put the glasses on, the monocle on, uh, it's it starts reading like. Let me open the description for this item. Um, oh, holy fuck. Okay, I am running out of voice. Yeah. So this is called the marvelous pigment. Uh, it's it's a small it's a paintbrush that comes with a box and has like small different containers with different colors of paint and of ink. The paint flows constantly from the brush and it forms a desired object as you concentrate on its image. So let me summarize all of this. So whatever you paint with a brush, as long as you succeed on a performance check, will become true. This includes simple inanimate things such as a door, a pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet area, and the quality of the item that you get is based on a performance check.
Useful.
I could just
Armor with it or something.
generate infinite money down here.
It's an infinite money glitch. We found it in D&D.
Now let me read the other part. After 24 hours, the ink disappears, leaving the objects in its original state.
24
And
hours after that, we're out
We
of
go
there.
longer.
And
24 hours is plenty of time.
yeah,
Maybe quite useful. In addition, I was also looking for a very specific magical focus. I was wondering if you would be able to help me with that. And I will strike one of the glass focus or mirror, something that I could use to cast strike.
okay. So, oh, yes, I know what you mean. But we don't really have anything like that right now. I'm sorry. Uh, I, I maybe last time that we saw one of those was at the Festival of Inventions, that is weekly, and it was used to be broadcasted. So I think the Lightspar Guild bought all of them as soon as they arrive in the city. But uh, The Festival of Inventions is actually tomorrow for this week, so you could maybe ask somebody from the Light Sparks.
How convenient.
There, well,
Eric rolled his head.
well, there's actually there's actually once a week.
Oh, oh, that's fine. It's not like the Hobbit. Oh, conveniently the correct moon we need is tonight.
Uh, no, and as a matter of fact, I would say, as you guys were walking down here, though any of you speak Gnomish, because you notice everybody speaks common, but some, especially as you enter into the Muse district, some of the uh, signs started being in Gnomish rather than common.
And we noticed a change.
I would say, yeah. Bishar is a very perceptive guy.
Classes of German. What do you think, Afron? Should we buy paint black or something else? It might be quite useful. Yeah.
For the wand of the wand of okay,
Elemental.
yeah, uh, it,
Can each stone be used only once, or
yeah, it's only once. So
I
this,
have 20 small ass
oh,
some F? Or
so this,
ass.
yeah.
so this is called the wand of blasting stones. Uh, it costs also 25 gold pieces, and it doesn't come with any elemental stone. Battery is not included.
I think it seems useful, but we are quite capable of crossing the plastic method ourselves without expanding any material.
Are you willing to barter?
Oh well, of course. Do you have anything worth it?
I don't know if it's worth that, but I have. Okay, actually, it's not the same. Would you be interested in? I have acid, I have something antioxidant, I have two potions, I have a spyglass, I feel like I have some papers in this old language, language of old. I have a interesting, I have an interesting map, and if when I'm saying it, I am taking it out. I have some more pencils as well. Want them enchanted?
I also have this glowing stick, which I got somewhere. I think a couple of episodes ago.
A glowing stick.
Yes, I don't really know where I got it from, but you said something before the session, something along the lines of whoever gets closest gets an extra item. I think I won, and I got basically a stick that glows in color.
Mm. Okay.
Oh yeah, it was the wager how many dice sets I have.
Oh right, that's the one. Yeah. I said 60 or something. You had more than that.
Love you.
So why don't you give me a persuasion check? Sure, you are the one bartering apparently.
Did I get a advantage because Misha is throwing a magic spell?
Sure. So this is why GMs hate shopping episodes, huh? So for a total of Mm-hmm. Holy fuck. I am not.
I will send you the
I am not really interested in some of those items, but I can give you 15 gold pieces for all of them. The paintbrush was 25 actually, but it helps.
Yeah.
so I will just give that to by a plastic potion.
So we're buying the paintbrush, but nothing else.
Oh,
I will also give my clone stick, and I will supply the remaining 10 gold.
Okay. Are you buying any other of the items?
Do we need something else? Do we want something?
Okay. Cool. Of the wand. The wand was 25 gold pieces.
There's another 17 magic scrolls and have Martin list all the items we have.
Uh, oh, nature is kind of not common here. Are you just arriving to Equestria?
yeah.
Hmm. She will buy all of your herbs for about 5 gold pieces. Okay, nice. So, anything else at this store, or do we go to Quotel and Eric's adventures? Yeah, money in this place doesn't really have much meaning.
You have no need. Just walk out with the paintbrush, like make a like pile of money, and then just walk back in. I've just won the lottery.
Remember that
Give me everything you've got.
the the paintbrush is only black ink.
I can do prestidigitation and make it gold.
Prestidigitation doesn't change the color. Okay, so Bryn, anything else? Oh, uh, so how how much do you have in traditional 5e? large silver, small gold, and large gold. So you don't have enough. They are charging large gold coins here. Okay. So you guys are just buying the paintbrush that I will send you the description later, and nothing else. Okay, cool. So, uh, in order to finish tonight's episode, before it's too late, Quotl, Eric, anything that you are doing? If you are talking, Jason, you are muted.
Right, sorry.
He's sleeping to wake him up.
Yeah, no.
It's late in the UK.
No, I'm going to say, with everything that's going around, is there like cities, buildings,
Yes.
arcade rooms,
Yeah. Yep. So if you walk down out of the district that you are on right now, the Arrowhead district, and you go to the district in the middle, the Soulforge district, you actually have many places. Depending on how much money you are willing to spend, if you ask around, they will tell you that if you go to the to Kyorshi's cathedral, you can look and buy even the items made by Kyorhis himself. Uh, that's probably a little too expensive. Uh, but if you go to to all of the stores surrounding the Eternal Anvil, you start noticing that all of the equipment is covered in runes. And as you look, you see that all of the equipment that the orcs and dwarves that have those metal channels going through, everything is covered in runes. And runes very similarly to those that you have. Uh, but yes, but they seem to have been slightly different. They seem to be inspired in giant runes with more dwarvish language, almost as if the dwarves here had managed to reverse engineer the giant runes. Uh, After all, if this is the place that Korshis is located in, you have the god of craftsmanship just a couple of blocks away. So it wouldn't be strange for them to have developed a similar way of runes to that of giants. So you could go to the store that is recommended is in front of the Eternal Anvil, uh, entering the Steam Whistle Bazaar, and you can go into uh, the Clockwork Armory.
as I walk into the corporate army, can I get the constitution? So basically, can I sort of compare between whether my rooms versus the rooms they have are either ones of equal quality, or is one superior than the other?
Why don't you give me an Arcana check? Let's call it.
That,
18. So the main difference is that the runes that you learned, the runes of the giants have been forgotten. Even during the War of Gods, they were thought extinct, uh, and they are more. How do I explain this? Think of it as if the runes of the giants were kind of like in a three-dimensional space. The depth of the rune, if it has a space to go deep, it can hold multiple runes inside of it, almost as if layering things on top of each other. And that's how you end up with very big runes that take up a lot of space. The dwarvish runes that they have been using here, uh, it seems to be more letters. It doesn't feel like as three-dimensional. Doesn't feel like each rune has another rune inside, and it feels more as where the runes of the giants are just like an invocation of spirit and strength and the power. The runes of the dwarves seem to be more of a commanding type, like I tell you to do this. So you get the feeling that the dwarvish runes are more based on arcane magic and the creations of Krylus, as where the runes of the giants are more based on old magic before the existence of the arcana.
Oh, interesting. Closer to their gods. I will ask. I'm just thinking whether I want curry favor, basically, get some sort of social currency in case someone fucks something up socially. Uh, I I guess rather than us playing out the entire interaction, I quickly ask I would simply ask the shopkeeper, the smithy, whoever overseeing the church, simply ask if uh, they would be interested in an exchange of knowledge, or uh, perhaps an exchange for a favor or something down the line. I guess, because in a way Eric doesn't really know what he wants, because currently his mindset is like restless, because he's he's willing to go with everyone's shtick for now, because he understands everyone's got to get stuff, whereas all he needs is just a sleep and then he's ready to go. So right now he's trying to keep his mind off the things that is at the back of his mind.
So, what is it specifically that you're looking for?
Um, I guess not really looking, more like would they be interested in
In learning about your runes?
learn, like if I teach them giant runes or something, could I potentially get like curry favor, like a one favor or whatever, I guess, that this we could own.
Okay. So, let's break this down in two different roles. Let's break it first in a persuasion roll to see if you can get attention, and then let's do an arcana check about runes to see how good you explain this knowledge, because it took you years to learn this, but you also had to learn it by yourself, reading ancient tomes.
19 on the die, which means that's a unnatural 20 for the persuasion.
Yeah, you get some dwarven smiths paying attention to you, but mostly younger dwarves that still haven't embarked on their soul path. They go to call on gnomes.
Bringing out my tome, it's like
Yeah,
explaining what these giant runes are like.
you actually end up getting more attention from gnomes than dwarves, as they look and they kind of go like, "Give me the Arcana check, please."
so that's an 18.
And 18. So you explain fairly well about the three dimensionality and the power and the way of call on it rather than forcing on it, and how it doesn't rely on the arcana but rather a connection to nature itself. And you end up getting attention mostly from gnomes by the end of this, as dwarven smiths go like, nah, that's too hard. Uh, you would bend the metal too hard to do that, that wouldn't work. So but the gnomes that work more on silverware and free forms and other stuff to make it beautiful, they go like, and how would you make this smaller to fit in a necklace, for example?
Requires depth of hand and requires, rather than bending something to your will, work with it. You feel you go by gut feeling rather than allowing going by measurements or by whatever schematics that you may have. You allow the rules to flow, guide you.
So the same rune wouldn't work for the same material even if the shape was exactly the same.
Yes, giant runes are peculiar because for a race so large, there is no set method. We've seen that because there were multiple giants who were of elemental descendants and different ways. Perhaps a giant's word is spoken by a fire giant different from a word from the very same word spoken by an ice giant.
And how would you work around the impurities of the material?
You begin to refine. You ensure that your material is refined first, as much as you could, and then allow the rune to perhaps attempt to refine the material. There is no, if the material is as impure as you say it could be, unfortunately that is how it works, right? You would have to, say with the forging of iron, you have to reforge it many times before you get the purity.
You realize by the end of this talk to most of the of the young gnomes, there's an older gnome, a guy with like a long white beard. There's like some dust and tin accumulated in the beard, and you see like some small like gears, kind of like turning it around, and almost like instead of a beer ring, there's like a gear just there. Uh, his eyes just like kind of like spark in a similar way to that white glimmering drink that you saw young gnomes drinking at the whistle market. And you see on one hand he has like a set of like blueprints and one of those metallic slabs, and on the other he just has like a quill, and he's looking at you, and as soon as everybody realizes, they just like bow, open up, and let this gnome work next to you, and he goes, huh, truly interesting. I thought that giant runic magic was lost many centuries ago. How do you know this, young feline?
From where I am, rolling and dangerous, then much about history is also passed down from our ancestors. We do all we can to preserve what history is left. Could say we got lucky.
Huh, certainly interesting. And Let me know, boy. Would you be interested in coming to audit some of the lectures at the Sparklight? We have a festival actually tomorrow. You are a newcomer, so you haven't joined any of the working halls, haven't you?
Yes. Can I, rather than me metagame here, can I roll an insight check to see if essentially I know that these people, this world is their bubble, and they basically have no concept that people come and go. People come and stay.
Um, so sure, roll me an insight check.
Let's 13.
Okay, so let's review the facts. You saw that there are flying vessels coming in and coming out. You saw that there are gnomes, dwarves, orcs, and some peace walkers going around. You saw that there are what you would consider the warrior cast, the warriors that go out and explore, having those metal things. But everybody that you have talked that doesn't have those metal circuits on their body seems to just be concerned about inventions and smithing and and things inside of here. And everybody that you have talked to doesn't seem to think that people want to go back out. So based on all of that, I would say that it's safe. Eric is a very wise boy. It's very safe to consider that people that come here find this as like the last safe bastion of civilization.
Um, Eric, who's that?
Also, I think you would understand that the people here have no idea that there's still a world outside of the miasma.
Basically, they are living the inverse
Yeah,
of what we are.
yeah.
That's fine. Eric will say, I am not planning to stay long. Traveling companions are going to take some time, so I'm happy to take my mind off things and actually work a little bit of this auditing if you have some now.
Oh, that's such a shame. Somebody with such deep and old knowledge is willing to join the scavengers.
Let's say I'm not part of them either.
Oh, truly astounding, my boy. Come, let's walk. I need to hear more about that intriguing head of yours. Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed that you knew who I was, but my name is Ignatius Gearspark. Who may you be, old boy?
I will. Name some power bands. Make sure it's. I will. Eric has no reason to be suspicious of him. I will say I am. You may call me Eric Dark.
Oh, certainly a powerful name. Ah, lovely to meet you. Come, let's walk to the guild hall. I want to hear more about these old runes. And as he's starting to like turn around and walk away, you see there's like uh, another like uh, it's an orc with those metallic circuits comes and just kind of like goes to a knee and, and bows to this gnome and goes excuse me, hi artificer, but there's been an incident in one of these stores. Oh, well, certain.
What was his name again?
Hi, hi Ignatius Gearspark, high artificer or Kioshis. And
Yeah. Oh, right. No, incident.
and
Anyway.
And that's where we are going to end with Eric. Kotel, last but not least, what are you doing?
I want a shield, and I want something like the wand or the war mage. Done.
Okay, so you want a shield and you want a wand? What type of wand?
Take my shield. I don't fucking use it. I don't know why I have one, but I have one. You could use mine.
Oh,
Wand of the war mage.
wand of the war mage. What the fuck is that?
It's like
Plus one bonus.
Oh, okay.
I want that too.
you do not.
Okay, so
I didn't know it was possible.
if you look for something like that, you do find in the Soul Force district where all of the things are. You find somebody a store that deals in magical items, and also magical. This one is also owned by a gnome, and they will pretty much let you know. They don't have something like that in particular right now, but they could adjust an item to give the property since the anvil is just across the street. So they will. Would you like to make a persuasion check? Because otherwise, it's going to cost you 35 gold pieces.
I'll do it.
Sure. They will lower the price to 30 gold pieces if you just give some of your items to make it easier.
So I will cast the catapult, and I will give them as in trade a magic drill that instantly breaks stone.
Oh, in exchange for that, instantly breaks
Covered in
stone.
runes.
Okay. So they will actually pay. You know what? You rolled an 18, right? They will give you the enchantment for free in exchange of that. Uh, and e-
Archer plus two.
and they will tell you you could.
Here's two.
They will let you
Get
know
three.
that adding
I don't think it wants to do it.
stacking additional enchantments is hard. It depends on the properties of the item.
Just two rocks.
Look looking at your stuff, they will tell you that for an additional 50 gold pieces they could add an additional enchantment into it, but it would take a little bit longer since the eternal anvil would have to process everything. Like an hour or two.
It's the same. And
Here's
we were
two.
gonna be. Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna try for this.
Okay, so I need you to roll me a d100.
I love rolling them.
Is it still the same day as all the D100 that also made?
Yes.
Okay, thank God for that.
That is okay.
99. Okay. So, holy fuck. So,
Oh, an additional one woman.
so you
Plus three.
no, it's an additional enchantment. You get the item that you wanted, and the after it comes out of the anvil, the gnome inserts like some mundane items next to it, kind of like reshapes the form. And when it comes out, uh, your stuff that was mostly wood now has like these silver linings, almost like perfectly integrated into the wood, as if it were like a vein flowing, going to the top. And on the around the middle part, you see that there's like a break in the silver lining. And the gnome goes, I'm not entirely certain of what random effect the Eternal Anvil applied, but I know that once you complete this circuit, it will activate. All of the information that I could gather was that it works only once a week. So it needs to recharge the energy from absorbing the ether in the air. I would recommend you the gnome dies. I would recommend you try this out in a safe area. So yeah, you have your stuff. You have your staff uh, that gives you +1 to spell attacks and spell saving throws, and just add random effect to the description.
That's part of his anyway.
And the gnome goes, I apologize. Normally, we control what goes into the item, and but apparently somebody uh, dismantled something of great power not so long ago, and there's still some energy residing inside of the Eternal Anvil. Or who knows? Maybe Curious himself is smiling upon you.
Then Meowth is gone.
Uh,
Completely full.
And at this time, Quoddle, you see how about 10 orcs and 5 dwarves in full combat gear go towards the direction of the Whistle Market. And that's where we are going to finish tonight's episode.
No, 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 Java, you fucked it. You don't get to say shit.
And
You can
that's why he doesn't get to say shit. Uh,
don't fuck up our social currency.
I will say all of you feel anxiety and kind of. How does Gava feel at this moment? Yeah, all of you feel all of you feel a mixture of anxiousness and overwhelming confidence for some reason.
This is what Java has always.
This is yet another cabin fever.
I'm just like, shit, I have questions. Shit.
He dies. He dies.
Yeah.